All right, guys and gals, thanks for hopping on today's webinar. Today we are going over how to optimize your damage restoration website for maximum conversion. And this is part of, I'm not sure if anybody on this call was on our webinar a couple months back where we went over just kind of your 2019 internet marketing plan, where we took just a 30,000 foot view of what you should be doing to drive more leads and ultimately more water damage jobs, mold removal jobs, etc. for your restoration company. So this is kind of one aspect of that. Last month we talked about your SEO strategy and things you should be implementing from that standpoint, as well as your Google My Business stuff. So this month, we're going to step into the the more of the website portion of your overall strategy. And just some quick housekeeping. We're all here live, taking our time, so we might as well focus on what we're doing in front of us to get the most out of it. So silence your phones, get off social media I'm going to try to make this short and sweet as possible. Just trying to make sure I get, the main points across for you guys so you can leave here and get some value and, some things that you can implement on your own websites. So, if you're an owner or the marketing or salesperson, and you're serious about generating more revenue from your website online, then just, ask for your attention. I'll try to, keep this no longer than, the next hour. So some of you, I'm recognizing some of the names. Looks like you guys were on last month's webinar, so welcome back. And some of you are new, it looks like. So just, this webinar is more about you guys than it is me, but just in case of anybody new, my name is Jamie Randall. Again, I'm the founder of Restoration Marketing Group. I do speaking engagements on internet marketing and, for restoration companies. My background is in construction. Before I transitioned over to this, I have a background in construction, more specifically, more of a general contracting background. So I'm very familiar with the putbacks, and for all you companies that do the rebuilds and that portion, spent many years doing that kind of stuff, and then kind of started working with restoration companies, and kind of that's who I am and where we are today. And this is all we do. This is, we strictly work with water, mold, fire damage companies. These are just some testimonials for some of our current clients that are, across the country. But again, this is not really about me, it's about you guys. We just want to give you a brief overview real quick. So, the reason we're all here today, there's a common problem, right? We're all spending a lot of money on, marketing in general, whether it's, paid traffic, SEO, Google My Business stuff. Even, billboards. Some of you guys might even still be doing Yellow Pages stuff, radio ads, commercials. There's a lot of different avenues to generate more leads and calls, for more water damage jobs. And it's something that's critical, right? If you're not doing it, your business is not growing. But this could lead to a problem to where you're getting traffic, to your website, but for whatever reason, you've just noticed that nobody's picking up the phone and calling you, and you're just not getting the leads you should be getting based on the traffic to your business. So that ultimately leads to a low ROI, and that's something that all of us, all the business owners here, and even the marketing and sales people, it's all about the ROI at the end of the day, right? You want to look at this as more of an investment versus an expense. If you're putting $3 in or $1 in, you're getting $3 back, then you continue doing it, obviously, right? But you want to, if there's a way to turn that $1 into $4 and increase that ROI, then you're obviously going to do that. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, is how to increase that ROI by, making a few changes to your website that can help do that. And if some people still might not think that. Honestly, I still talk to business owners who don't think anybody calls from the internet when their house floods. It kind of blows my mind, but it's extremely important. And if you're not getting more business, then what do we have? You got parked trucks and an empty schedule, right? And we all know in this industry, especially, there's ebbs and flows as far as the call volume, right? You could get 4 houses that flood in a day, then it could be quiet for 2 weeks, right? That's just the nature of the business we're in. It's not as consistent as, maybe the carpet cleaning aspect or plumbers and heating and air. I mean, those are more of a higher volume niche, right? We're more in it's a little bit lower volume. So, again, if you're not paying attention to this stuff, then ultimately, you're not getting a return on your investment, and it's just a fail. So it's kind of what we're going to go over today, just trying to give you guys a brief overview so you know what to expect. And, we're going to go dive a little bit deeper into what does a great site look like that's built to convert and ultimately, get these visitors to convert into callers and leads. And, hopefully for all of you that were on last month's webinar, hopefully you've implemented some of those SEO strategies and you've increased the traffic to your website. So now that you have traffic, we need to make sure the people that are landing on your website are actually turning in to leads, which would ultimately leads to more jobs and more revenues. And that also will turn into, full schedule with your trucks running. You want your equipment out, fans sitting in houses, DHUs out on jobs, etc. Right? You don't want them just sitting in the warehouse not doing anything. And that helps with the momentum and consistent growth in your business. And again, we know it's a little bit more difficult in our industry because of the ebbs and flows. Depending on, Florida is a lot different than the Northeast, for example, right? California deals with different weather patterns. There's so many scenarios, the population of your city you're in. So ultimately, you want to have as many things going as you can to help with the fluctuations, right? Ultimately, we just want more consistent growth. And that's kind of what we're going to keep going into as we dive in today. And again, that means your phone's ringing, trucks are running, and business is booming. It's kind of how all this ties in together. So I think most of you would agree that, at the end of the day, your website is the hub of where all your prospects end up, whether it's, referrals, YouTube videos, website traffic, Facebook, all of those funnel back to your website to where a prospect can get to know you and then ultimately decide whether they want to call you or your competition to do the work for them. So, why is, conversion so important? Some business owners don't think it's really matters, right? As long as they have something that says, house flooded, give us a call, that's all they need. So I kind of broke down in 2 scenarios just to show you how important this is. Let's go to scenario 1. Let's say Bob is getting 1,000 visitors per month through the site, and those are converting at 5%, right? So he's getting 50 leads a month at a 60% conversion. Some of these callers might be renters, right? Most of the time we're not authorized to do the work for renters. So I kind of lowered that down to 60%. Most of our clients, considering it's the homeowner, you should be converting 80, 90%, to be honest, but we want to use conservative numbers. So we'll go 60%. That leads in 30 book jobs. Nationally, we're seeing the average with our clients anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 is the average. We'll just use water damage is the average transaction value. So we'll pick something in the middle, 3,500. So, he's generating about $100,000 a month in revenue, converting at 5%, right? Not bad. That's still, $1 million restoration company, not too shabby, right? Now, if you take those same visitors and work on the website conversion alone to 15%, which is doable, right? 15% is still not, that's good. It's a good conversion rate. It could be better, but we'll just roll 15%. It's 150 leads a month, and everything else being equal, 60% conversion, that's 90 book jobs, the same transaction value, is $315,000 in revenue from his website. So that's triple the leads and revenue from changing one metric, right? To really dial in and measure something on if it's working or not. Everything else has to be constant, right? There can only be one variable. That's how you pinpoint whether a change is working. So just from tripling the conversion alone, tripled the revenue. So it turned into, a multi 7-figure restoration company just by focusing on the conversion alone. So I just want to show you guys some numbers so you can see. I mean, it's important. I wouldn't, whenever I still talk to owners today that, they're like, well, yes, you'll still get business from, plumbers, insurance agents. I mean, friends, stuff like that. Yes, like understand that you should be partnering and working that for more leads and jobs. But if you're not worried about the website at all, I mean, just something like this alone, I mean, you could potentially triple the revenue you're getting. So, my advice is always to you should be doing all those channels. That way you have multiple leads coming from different directions. And that way, if, your insurance guy isn't throwing you any work, like you still got leads and jobs coming through the internet. And then, whenever he gives you a call, it's just icing on the cake, right? It's a bonus. So I kind of been here, running my mouth. So we'll take a quick break and or not necessarily a break, but everybody just step back and just think, like, why are you here, with me today? Obviously, you're on this webinar, and I appreciate you guys coming. And you guys can even put in the chat box if you want, just to take notes. I mean, why is this important to you? Why are you spending time to figure this out? You can put in the comment box if you want. Take a sip of water. Kind of been running my mouth for a few minutes. I just don't want everybody to get bored. Feel like you're in, a college lecture or something. But just think about that as we go today. Like, why are you here? Why is this important? And ultimately, why do you want to fix it? So let's kind of start breaking this down a little bit and diving into it, and start going into the different elements on how you can, optimize your site. So I've kind of broken this down, and yeah, that's a good point, Whitney. Yeah, well, we can talk later for sure. So there's 10 critical elements to enhance conversion. And we're going to kind of dive into each of these. I'll just run through these quickly. You need to speak to your target avatar prospect. You need to be real. Use authentic images, not stock photos, which I'm seeing a lot. And then when you can, use video and multimedia on your websites. I mean, this is 2019, right? There's audio, video, text, chat. I mean, there's so many different elements, and people learn and connect different ways, right? So you need to make sure you leverage as many of those as possible. You want to have, your online reviews shown on your webpage. I mean, reviews are becoming more and more popular. I mean, just think about how you shop when you go online. I don't know about you guys, but reviews are definitely something I look at. And then, there's a few basic elements we need to get in order with the phone number in the right-hand corner. Make sure there's a web form, because some prospects prefer just to give you their email address instead of call for whatever reason they do. And then you want to add some credibility. Better Business Bureau, Angie's List. The IRA, if you're a member of that. Stuff like that. And then you want to have clear call to actions for each page. If your mold removal page needs to address mold removal topics, and tell your prospect what to do, versus your fire damage page needs to speak specifically on fire damage. Instead, we see a lot of times everybody trying to group all those together. It converts a little better when it's specific to the prospect's problem. And then, sometimes we can use special offers and coupons. It's not as common in our industry as it is, maybe a heating and air. A lot of times they get rebates for new equipment or $500 off new heat pump, stuff like that. But I'll show you there's a couple ways you can get creative in our industry that some of our clients are doing that are working really well. And then obviously you want to make sure your website's mobile optimized, and you can leverage live chat. And then also you want to make sure your website is targeting prospects that are close to you in a close proximity. So we're going to kind of go into these and a little more for you, so we can kind of figure out to where we can, we have all this traffic coming into our website, but how do we make that, traffic pick up the phone and call us? So what I'll do real quick is just show you guys. I'll just kind of run through a couple, let's see here. Man, you guys can't see the, all right, bear with me for a minute. All right. So this is, we'll just go through, like I said, we'll pick some of these apart, but a few things like, this is an actual employee working in the background. You have a form fill here. We talked about you want to have that. Why choose this company over somebody else? This is huge, right? You don't, if I'm a prospect and, I might be looking at this Restoration One site and I might also be looking at the ServPro site or whatever it might be, right? ProClean or a local company. And you guys get the point. Why should I call these guys versus somebody else? So you've got to have those prominently displayed on the site. Photos, actual photos instead of stock images is huge. I mean, we see 90% of the companies that come to us have just stock photos of generic. You can just tell they bought it. It doesn't look real. I mean, this is the actual people that will be showing up at the house, right? So it's live. And you want to have the certifications and awards displayed, right? This again, why are you different than the guy that they might be calling down the street? So if you have certifications and awards, as you can see, I mean, this client has, he's all kinds of awards, and so we obviously want to put these, and he's a member of a lot of associations, so you want to display those on your website. And then have your main services, displayed to where it speaks directly to whatever the problem is that customer has. You want to have click to call buttons. I mean, if these are tapped on a phone, it populates the dial pad. You want to have testimonials and reviews, real, not fake stuff. I mean, these are Google My Business reviews that are pulled into this website, so they can check these reviews and make sure they're real or not. So these are displayed for the prospect to see. So that's kind of just a general overview. And I just kind of wanted to hit a few of the highlights. Here's another one, for example. And something that this is a newer site we've built, and it's something we need to do. This is kind of temporary, but this is a stock photo, right? And we're working with this client to get some real photos of him and his team, because those will connect a lot better with the prospect than just a stock photo. So we are working on that. You want to have your services. See, the older sites used to have more text, right? But think about your attention span. Nobody's sitting here reading for 10 minutes, 1,000 words. Like, the attention span is very short these days. So you got to have, like, everybody's used to seeing the icons, the bullets, short and sweet. So that's kind of where we're seeing the better conversion rates. And again, just a few things to point out why they're different. Hassle-free insurance claims. This picture obviously is not very good, right? And that's, like I said, we're working with him to get pictures of his actual trucks and stuff. But you got, for the time being, we wanted to get his site up and live, so we're using this while he works on getting, the better photos for us. And just let them know that you have certified techs on staff. You're available 24/7. If you provide free estimates, and let them know that. And that's another big conversion thing. People, everybody loves free, right? So if you do free estimates, then make sure that's displayed on your website so people see. Again, show some real reviews with some happy clients that you've serviced in the past. Again, if you're a member of the IICRC, put that on there. And if you've gotten some awards for some of these lead gen companies use, like Home Advisor, then you want to put those on your site as well. And I don't know if you noticed too that this phone number is sticking as I scroll down, right? That way, if somebody decides they do want to call, they don't have to go searching for the phone number. It's right here and somebody can call. A lot of sites we come across, the phone number doesn't see, and if the prospect stopped here, there's no phone number displayed, right? So they have to go back and find it. So you always want to have the phone number visible and clickable, so that way if it was on from a mobile site, that they could just call you straight from the phone. And then I want to show you too a good example of a site leveraging multimedia or video. And not everybody has this capability, and I understand, but when you do, you can have, a video shot, and this auto plays, right, of an actual technician in somebody's home. You can do some branding with, you can wear your shirt with the logo on it, and just, you can see it's Restoration One talking to it's a happy customer. Oh, thanks, for signing up with us. Here's our truck driving around town. So I don't know, this is pretty slick. I understand that not everybody can do this, but when you can, you want to implement some video, and that way the prospect will put, themselves in their shoe, or these people's shoes, is what happens. Whether they realize it or not, they probably won't realize it, but that's what we all do. Just when you watch a movie, for example, right? We all connect and imagine ourselves in that situation. And then again, you want to have, why choose, this company over the other. So whatever, this will vary obviously a little bit by, your services, your background, but just make sure you keep in mind as you're designing the site, what makes you better than the competition. And again, you want to have the phone number clickable, any awards or anything displayed, testimonials, real reviews. You can pull these in from, Yelp, Google, wherever you want to do there. So I just want to show you guys a couple of those examples real quick. And like I said, we're going to dive into these a little bit more. But that kind of just gives you an example. And we'll keep going. Sorry, I got to make some quick adjustments. This screen share stuff can get tricky, but all right. So I showed you guys, just three examples real quick. I don't want to sit here. Like I said, we're all busy. We don't have time to go through too many, but just want to show you guys those real quick. So, if you got your website up while we talk about that, great. But, ultimately, how can we get your website to have these conversion elements? So you guys can pull up your own website and look at it as we go through this to kind of, check out. You can make notes to yourself, check off, yeah, I've got this taken care of. No, I need to implement this, element. So, I highly encourage you guys to take notes as we go. And that way you don't have to try to remember everything. So one element we see a lot is, or when if you're starting from scratch, or you're just looking at a high level view of your website, there's a saying, and it goes, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. And I mean, it's kind of a corny little saying, I get it, but ultimately that just means, just imagine you sitting back, your house floods, right? Your toilet overflows on the second floor, floods the first floor ceiling, the ceiling collapses. What would you want to see on a site that you ended up on? So really the big point is to see this from the prospect eyes, not what you think, you want to see or what you like. Like if you were in their shoes and you had that problem, what would help you pick up the phone and make that call? So a lot of times I think we all make that mistake of not really stepping back and say, all right, if I was making this decision or I had this problem, what would I want to see? So that's kind of where we get into the whole customer or ideal customer avatar thing, right? Like, what are the pains and frustrations you have? What are the fears and implications? What are the goals and desires? And, what are their dreams and aspirations, or what are the solutions they ultimately need? So, just a quick example. I mean, we're not going to go, this isn't a, psychology webinar, but or demographics either, but we'll kind of just give you a, I gave an example of an ideal customer avatar that it could be, depending on what you're, if you specialize in, storm damage or fire damage, whatever, it could vary, obviously, right? But, you can do a deep dive into the data to really see, all right, we've noticed that most of our clients and customers, are homeowners that are over 35 years old, married to 2 to 3 kids. I mean, this could just be an example, right? It could be different for mold, and obviously the demographics are going to vary based on where you are in the country, what neighborhood, et cetera, right? There's a lot of variables, but ultimately I just want you guys to keep that in mind as you're thinking about your websites. And, what are the pains and frustrations? The toilet overflow, they have mold on the walls, did they have a fire in the kitchen? I mean, the copy or the videos or whatever you're doing for that page needs to speak to that pain and frustration. They can't get a restoration company on the phone. Nobody's answering. It could be 11 o'clock at night. Or that the restoration companies aren't answering. Whatever's getting hung up in the call center or whatever the problem might be. Are they too busy to deal with their insurance company? They don't want to do it. They want you to handle it for them. That's a good selling point. A lot of our clients are like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll call your insurance agent for you and deal with it. I mean, that's something I would like to hear, right? I don't want to have to deal with the restoration company, talk to the adjuster. I mean, a lot of people just don't. They're busy, right? They don't have time for that. So if a company approaches and say, hey, if your website says hassle-free insurance claims, or we'll deal directly with the insurance company for you. I mean, that would be a selling point if I was going to end up on the site, right? Because the time you can take away from them and take it on yourself, it's a huge selling point. So there's just a few things to keep in mind. And obviously, if you specialize in mold, or if you just do mold testing, or some of our clients only do water damage, then obviously you need to tweak this a little bit to be more specific for your, for the type of services you're specializing in. But the fears and implications they have, they don't want to be ripped off, paying too much. They might get mold. They're worried they're going to get mold if their home's not dried out properly. Waiting around, having to wait for the technician to get there. Like, I'm sure you guys see this a lot. Like, 60-minute response time is a big ad copy thing, just to let people know. Because if your house is flowing, if your house is flooding and the water's starting to turn off, and that's still happening, I mean, time is of the essence, right? The damage is only getting worse. The people, you'd be freaking out. You need somebody there ASAP to fix it. So that's a huge, huge fear that a prospect would have. And I mean, ultimately, keep in mind, all right, so what's the end result they want? They want the water leak fixed, water turned off, and then they really want their home in like new condition as quick as possible. And then that way they have peace of mind. They can move on with their life. Everybody hates hang-ups and unexpected problems. So ultimately, with your website, you want to keep those in mind to let them, just to get everything back up and like new again. So I kind of mentioned some of these. So, just a few tidbits or, that we see a lot that seems to work. I mean, let people know same day service 24/7. I mean, a lot of these are pretty common. You guys might already be implementing these, but we still come across actually sites all the time that don't. So, free estimates, if you do that, satisfaction guaranteed. It's a big one. I mean, everybody wants to know that, you'll continue working with them until they're completely satisfied. And, do you have certified techs on staff? I'm sure most of you do. But, people want to know that the people that are coming into their house or business, know what they're doing and can get the job done right. And so this is just a quick example. I'll show you guys this a little bit earlier, that, again, if we want to take a 30,000-foot view, your problem is our priority, is what you want to let the prospect know. Like, let them know, yes, we're going to handle it. We're going to be there 24/7 rapid response. We got friendly communication. We got affordable prices, hassle-free insurance claims, free estimates. We're licensed, bonded, insured, no problem. Family owned and operated, and we have 100% satisfaction guaranteed. You can tweak these as needed, obviously. But just things to keep in mind, and make sure that these are easily visible on your site. As you make adjustments, and you can always add and tweak that. Like I said, I keep mentioning specific to your business. And make sure you're real and authentic. This is probably one of the biggest things I come across when I'm analyzing websites, is real images of the team or the owner on the site. It just, the stock, and I understand, right, so sometimes you have to use stock photos when time is of essence and you're getting the photos done, right? You're in the process of getting some branding, you branded trucks, I get that. But ultimately, you want to have team photos of the actual workers, and there's a level of connection there that people are like, oh, okay, these are real people, real company. that are going to come into my home and dry out my house, whatever it may be. So this is a huge one. And if you're still a smaller company and you only have just one truck and it's only two of you, make it be a picture and you're the owner. I mean, even a picture of yourself or a quick video, just saying, hey, Bob, I'm the owner of 24/7 Dry. Except you guys get the point. Even an iPhone video will go take you a long way on just because people can relate and they just see you're a real person. And when you're the one answering the phone, they're like, oh yeah, I recognize that voice and just watch the video. There's just a level of connection there that helps ultimately in the conversion of the website. So just definitely keep that in mind, even for your homepage and your About Us page. A little bio and all that kind of stuff helps go a long way as well. And then when possible, like that site I showed you, if you can afford it, if you're a larger company and you have the capabilities, take some quick videos of the truck driving down the street, some of your guys maybe using the equipment, talking to customers. Y'all saw that example. I mean, that's pretty powerful. And it definitely it catches your attention, right? It's because it's auto plays on the website, so you're like, oh wow, this is cool, and then you naturally just want to sit there and watch it for a minute. And then you can even take it a step further and then have like a mold removal video in your mold removal page, water damage video in a water damage page, and stuff like that if you want to really take it to the next level. And that'll help. Some people might prefer to read the text, but some people just want to click a video and sit there and watch, right? I mean, think about YouTube, for example, like instead of reading blog posts, people are going to YouTube to watch a quick video. So video is becoming more and more powerful, we're seeing. So just keep that in mind for your sites. And then, the social proof. Make sure those are on, you can have a separate reviews page or testimonials page, which is good, but also make sure those are on. You can even have them on every page on your site. Make sure they're on the home page and make sure they're real reviews from customers that you've helped. And you want to pull those in just because people want to see other satisfied clients that you've helped, at some point, in their service area. And then we want to get, the fundamentals right. The phone number in the top right-hand corner, the why choose us stuff, why should they pick up the phone and call you? And then, a contact submit form to where they can, for whatever reason, some people just don't like to talk on the phone. I mean, in our industry, a lot of it is emergency related, and so they will pick up the phone, right? Some people will just want to do a form submit and just give you the name, email, and phone number, and just that way you can just call them back whenever you get a chance. So it's important to have that option on your site for those people. That way you're capturing all the leads as possible. Special offers that match the service they're in. Now this is not as common, like I mentioned, as maybe like heating and air and plumbing and carpet cleaning. We'll clean 2 carpets, get one room free, stuff like that. Now some of our clients, they'll offer, to help pay the deductible. And I don't get into too many, we work with our clients for this because I know there are some rules and regulations around this. I'm not here to tell you can do this. Like, obviously you guys know the rules with the insurance company specific to your area, right? It definitely varies by state and who you work with. But just something to keep in mind that you can do is help pay the deductible up to $500 or whatever the case may be, or discounts. You could say discounts available, and then when they call and they say my entire house is flooded, and it's about to be a $30,000 job, then you can say hey John, we're willing to let us come out and take a look at it. We'll give you 10% off, just because in the back of your mind it's gonna be a huge job, right? You want to do whatever you can do to land it. A lot of our clients that are crushing it are kind of, they're slick like that on the phone too. Sometimes you can make it up on the fly. I mean, if you've got a ton of experience, a lot of our clients will know. I mean, they've just, taken calls for 20 plus years. You can fill out the prospect while you're on the call and even come up with a discount on the fly if you need to. But then on your website copy, you can just say discounts available, call to hear our latest, May promotion. I just made it up. You guys get the point. And then that entices them to pick up the phone and give you a call. And it's your job at that point to sell them. So there's just a couple things to, just think outside the box when it comes to the special offers and the discounts. And you want to make sure it's mobile friendly. There's over 4 billion people with mobile phones. And it's a crazy number. And that's obviously only, most of you right now, I'd say 99% have your cell phone within arm's reach. I almost guarantee it. And it's only trending upwards. 3 out of 5 consumers search for local businesses on their smartphone. It's over half. So, and that's trending upward as well. Like it's, a couple of years ago, it was kind of mobile, still kind of neck and neck with desktop, but it is definitely heading in this direction. Just think about, as the millennials start to age and make, buy homes and make these decisions, they're not going to fire up the desktop computer to make that call, right? They're pulling out the phone, doing what they need to do, and making the call. And make sure it looks okay, and it's mobile responsive, which I'll show you, because if not, people also, circling back to the attention span, we all do it, right? If you're fumbling around and you're loading, you can't find what you're looking for, and it's just sloppy, what do? You go back to Google, you search, you move on. Like there's zero patience. So that is why it's critical to make sure it's mobile friendly. So I just let me show you guys something quick. I'm having all kind of window issues. Oh, here we go. So just an example. So you see how everything collapses down and shifts. You want to make sure it's mobile responsive. Some websites you have to scroll, left and right, and nothing. It's just annoying. I'm sure you guys have seen it. And this is actually something we just put we code it to where this button sits the whole time, even when you scroll. So if I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling, there's the form submit. See how everything shifts over to the middle and is centered. It's just clean and easy to read if you're on a phone. And this button right here just sits there. So once they decide to call, remember I said you always want the phone number in plain sight. So this is kind of a way we make that happen. And this looks like, what color is the call button almost on y'all's phone? I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's 99% chance it's green, right? So we kind of implemented that in one of our conversion tactics, to where they click that and boom, the phone number populates easy, right? They don't have to go scrolling looking for the number and see. If you did that, it's hard to find, right? But it's just sitting here waiting for the, once they make their decision, boom, hit the phone number, make the call. So that's huge. Make sure your site is mobile friendly, mobile responsive, and there's a way for the prospect to give you a call. And this is just an example of what happens when that button. So if you're scrolling, you click that button, boom, the phone number populates. They hit call. Next thing you know, they're talking to a technician. Hey, thanks for calling. How can we help? So again, you want to put yourself in the prospect's shoes. You want it to be easy and not a whole bunch of hoops to jump through to get your mold removed, the water dried out from your house, whatever the case may be. So just wanted to make sure that there's also click to call on your site. And something else to consider, this is, you may or may not have seen it, but is live chat on the website. And there's ways, I'm still looking into this to make sure that we're going to implement the best strategy for our clients. But there's different ways where you can do like Facebook Messenger chat, or have a company on the other end that messages for back and forth with the prospect. Or you can have live chat integrated with text messaging. I'm still analyzing and trying to make sure that what we implement for our customers is going to be the best strategy and convert best. But I'm thinking the text, because again, everybody on this call, majority of you probably sent a text message today, right? It's becoming more and more common. Some people don't even like picking up the phone to talk anymore for whatever reason. So live chat is something else to consider, because a lot of people end up on your website and they might not call or fill out the web form. This is another avenue to catch that lead. Some people might just want to type real quick. They might have one question. If they type in the chat box, somebody responds back, they're like, oh, okay, I'm already engaged with somebody. Then you can maybe convert them to a call at that point, or help them with their question, and maybe get out there and provide them an estimate and help them out. So just something to consider, because one thing I have seen that the live chat, because obviously you don't want to implement a strategy if it's not going to help, right? Some things you just don't know, but studies are showing that it's increasing the conversion rate by 35%. Or they're capturing 35% more leads. So, and this is kind of what the chat, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is just an example of like a chat. There's just like a little dot that sits in the bottom right hand corner. You click it, you can type in the info, and you can connect with a live person to chat. So, and another thing is, this is kind of a bonus thing, or something just to keep in mind, is the proximity to the customer. For those of you there on last month's webinar, we talked about how city pages specific to your service areas are extremely important for not only ranking in that city that you cover, but it's also important for conversion. And because if I'm searching if I'm in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and I end up on a Mount Pleasant page for water damage versus just a generic Charleston page, for example, I'm more likely to call because I'm thinking, hey, this company's close to me. And then in the back of my mind, people want somebody at their house now, immediately. So if they land on a city page close to them, that leads to better conversion, because that way the customer's not thinking, oh, they're probably an hour and a half away, I don't have time for that. So this is just, we have a way of setting it up with we have an app to where we create heat maps, as you can kind of see here. I mean, this is outside of Washington, D.C., jobs that one of our clients has done, all over the neighborhood. So what would happen on this page is this page would pull up, and let's just say Springfield, for example. If I was a prospect, I'd be like, oh man, these guys they're already in my neighborhood. Oh, look, I know where that is. They just did a job. It's only 5 minutes from me. Let me give them a call. So, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, these guys are already doing work in my neighborhood. Let me give them a call. They can probably get here in no time. So this is kind of a next level type thing. I mean, not everybody can implement this and understand, but just something to keep in mind, that even with your ad copy, you want to let them know this kind of circles back to, at your door at 60 minutes and less. You just want to let the person know you're close by and you can help them fix their problem as soon as possible. So that's kind of what the proximity to the customer relates to. So, just to kind of step back, I've kind of been rambling for a while, drilling you guys a lot of information, but there's a bunch of key ideas and kind of an overview. I'll just run through these real quick. That way, if anybody missed anything and wants to take quick notes, have real authentic images, add video if you can. Make sure your reviews are on your homepage, and you can also have a reviews page separately. Make sure you get the basics in order: phone number, top right-hand corner, web form for people that want to fill out the web form, have the credibility and awards, the certifications, the associations, have all that displayed. Make sure your calls to action. You want to encourage somebody to pick up the phone and call you, and have that call to action specific to mold, if it's for mold, water damage. If you guys want to experiment with the discounts or the deductible stuff, like I said, make sure you know the rules and regulations for your service area on that. So I do understand that varies by state, but you can kind of toy with that if you want. Everybody likes a deal, right? Everybody wants a deal. And also keep in mind about the live chat and the proximity to customers and the heat map and those type things. So let's take a couple minutes. Like I said, I've been rambling. Don't want to bore you guys. If you had to pick 3 of these to implement the next 30 days, I mean, implementing 10 new things all at once could be a little overwhelming, and I get that. So if you want to maybe pick 3 of those aspects you liked the best and think that it might be easiest for you to implement, I encourage you guys to, we're about to come up on a new month, June, so you can write down, all right, in June, I'm going to get these 3 conversion tactics implemented on my website. So I'd take a quick second, jot that down. If you want to throw it in the chat box, you can. Just a little repetition to drill it in your mind. You can do that. So here's a few questions you can ask yourself. Just to kind of recap, if some of you need to see it as you're thinking about it and what you want to write down. So 3 things. All right, I'm assuming most of you guys have it. Good deal, good deal. And I get this question all the time too. If any of you guys need help from us, or you want us to kind of handle this for you, we couldn't put together a free online marketing plan for you, and that would obviously include we would analyze your website for you to kind of go over what we went over today, and then also take a look at your online reviews, your directory listings, make sure your name, your NAP is consistent, your name, address, phone number. We pull a ranking report for you specific to your location. Pull a keyword list, based on what your services are. So, if that is something you guys, would want to talk more about and just have us help you do it, we can definitely do that. A lot of people I talk to, they just don't have time to like doing it. They're like, Jamie, I'm busy hiring techs. I got way too much on my plate running around job sites. Just handle it. So no problem. That's what we do. I'm gonna put this in the chat box too. The best way is just to pick a time on the calendar that works best for you, and we can sit down and talk and look at maybe getting some of these strategies implemented for you. Again, like I said, if you're too busy to worry about it, or you're having difficulty getting things done or approved from the current company you're working with, we kind of run into that quite a bit as well. They just don't quite understand the restoration industry and what needs to be done. And then there's the link. The link should be clickable. And while you guys finish taking notes or schedule an appointment, it'll show the available time slots and what's whatever's available. So go ahead and pick a time. I do know we've been busy, so I don't think that there should be some appointments available next week. But if you guys want to put any questions, I can hang tight for a few minutes and answer any quick questions you guys might have. Try to help you out. Yeah, I'll be sending out a replay too for you guys. I'm sure that'll help you. So we can definitely do that. Let's see. Awesome webinar. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, no problem, Dave. See, Phil, great webinar. Thanks. My current website doesn't have any of these elements. I'm definitely going to have you guys just redo the whole thing for me so I don't have to deal with it. Yeah, no, that's, I understand, Phil. I hear that all day, every day. I mean, you guys are just busy, so you just don't even want to worry about it and just know someone's going to implement that for you. Then yeah, you use that link, schedule a call, and we'll start getting your site revamped ASAP. No, I don't know. I don't, Whitney. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure what that is. Sorry. Cool. Well, I appreciate everybody hopping on today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wasn't too long. Try to keep it short and sweet. I know you're all busy, got things to do, jobs to get to, equipment to drop off. So I didn't want to take up too of your time. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Ashton. Thanks for hopping on. And I'm gonna keep trying to do these for you guys on a consistent basis. Been getting a lot of great feedback, and it seems to be really helping out you guys. So I'm gonna try to keep doing this for you guys for sure. Let's see. I'd like to schedule a call. Can you put the link in the box again? Yep, definitely. There you go. All right, any more questions? Anybody have? Oh, I just saw a question. Yeah, it looks like there's a chat box and a question and answer box. Huh. Interesting. Learn something new every day. Ashton, that depends. I mean, it depends on if you have an existing. I mean, we have to really, look at the scope of work. How many pages your existing site? Are we just making some tweaks to it, or you need something to start from scratch? I mean, it can be all over the place. Literally all over the place. But just book a call, and then we can dive in deep to your business for sure. Take a look and let you know. No problem. No problem. Yeah, Michael, man, don't get me started on that. Tell me about it. 2 Google accounts clashing. Man, it just don't get me started. I can go on a rant for about Google sometimes. It's I believe it. We run into that. Duplicate Google. Not to go off topic, but duplicate Google My Business listings is extremely common, and it does hurt your Google My Business rankings. And even if you do everything right, Google will still show it sometimes. So there are some tactics and tricks. We actually just went through this too with one of our clients, and it normally will take some some tweaks, some calls to Google, you got to get pretty. It's a pain. I believe it. And that's definitely something I can't just tell you what to do over the. If that's something you want us to help you with, we can definitely dive in, but it's definitely not a 2-minute answer for sure. There's a lot of nitty gritty with the Google My Business stuff to get that stuff right. Because Google will take it upon itself to update listings on their own without even your approval. I have seen it all. It is not. Unfortunately, it's not easy to fix either. Sometimes you got to keep doing things and hit them from different angles to get it done. But if you already know how to do it, I would say try it again, Michael. But if that's something you want us to dive in deep for, then yeah, schedule a call and we'll see if we can. Help you out. Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, last call for questions. Again, hope you guys got some value out of this today. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't know about where you guys are, but the sun is shining here in South Carolina, and summertime's approaching. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the cold, so I'm excited. But all right, I think I'm going to end it here. Looks like that's kind of the end of the questions. Let's see. That was awesome. Thanks again. Yeah, no problem, Katie. Thanks for hopping on. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, signing out. Thanks again for hopping on today. Be on the lookout for my emails. We're going to keep doing these. Just trying to keep helping you guys get your internet marketing right, and get you some more leads and more jobs ultimately, and help you grow your business. So you guys are welcome. Like I said, have a good rest of the week, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. All right, see you.